Hello there, welcome to another episode of World of Tanks on Ungainly Titan. So, a much foreshadowed first look at the T57 Heavy. About 30 or 35 games, I think, under my belt at this point in time in the T37 or the T57 Heavy. And in this particular battle, we're on Prokhorovka, which is in an encounter mode without artillery and very few medium tanks and no light tanks, which is kind of the optimal situation to play a T57 Heavy. And I do quite a few things on the map here that I wouldn't dare do in a normal Prokhorovka game. And I certainly wouldn't dare doing it with a heavy tank, any kind of heavy tank, in a Prokhorovka game that early in the game. So what can I say about the T57 Heavy? I think it's probably a really good tank. I've come to the conclusion, having played, no, it's much better, it's much more comfortable to play a T57 Heavy compared to the T54E1. Gun handling is improved, but it's not massively improved. Penetration is better, which is a big plus, because you will penetrate more tanks and more often without having to be quite so precise in your shooting, because the aim time is still quite long. The accuracy is much improved over the T54E1. It's a 0.35 is distinct from 0.4 accuracy. 0.4 accuracy is pretty poor. And with small tanks, or shall we say tanks behind cover, at the kind of ranges you were engaging here with the T54E1, you completely miss the target frequently. I'm pushing into the bowl here because of the lack of medium tanks and the lack of artillery. Otherwise you wouldn't get away with this. But to get back to the T54 or the T57 Heavy, yes, you have a shorter interclip reload. The timing between rounds within the clip is about the same, and it suffers from exactly the same problems in the sense that I have the same difficulties with it that I had with the T54E1. In this kind of a situation, it's godlike in many respects, because you're out in a wide open field and you're among many dispersed targets, so you don't get focused down in the same way that you would in city maps or corridors. This tank gets focused down a lot, and the T54E1 does as well. I know if you're in corridor type maps, people become very conscious of the dip potential, the burst potential from an autoloader, and if they get the opportunity to shoot you, everybody who has a round in the breech at the time you pop around the corner will take a shot at you, so you can take quite a lot of damage just peeking out taking a shot. So you really have to be hyper aware of what the other players are doing and try and go around the corner when they've all fired. That's not something I'm good at, and it's and the temptation to go around the corner and dump out the clip is very, very strong, because that is the strength of the tank. If you're peeking and firing one shot at a time, you might as well be in a standard tank without an autoloader. You're kind of losing the benefit of having the autoloader. The other thing that you need to be constantly aware of with an autoloader is that you need to have some idea of what you're going to do while you're reloading. How do you protect yourself? How do you defend yourself? You're going to have cover. Preferably you're going to have somebody covering your position, so that if somebody does YOLO around you, they will at least get punished for it by your allies, if not by you. However, I've also come to the conclusion that this isn't a playstyle that I'm actually particularly good at. I find myself with the same kind of difficulties that I had with the T54E1. I also find myself making the same kind of, I suppose, mistakes that I made with a T54E1. So it's not a tank that I'm very comfortable with. It definitely doesn't suit my natural playstyle. and he doesn't play like a normal heavy either. It's not quite as resilient. It doesn't really have the armor or the turret like a normal heavy. Certainly not like a T110E5. It's a more fragile turret. Probably more like the M103. But it's so it requires a bit more care and attention that way, and I'm just not that good in it, really. Despite the fact that I have better stats than I have in my older tanks. But I think that's more of a reflection of a general improvement in my own play, rather than that I'm getting the most out of this tank. I feel that I'm not getting the most out of these tanks compared to what they are capable of. This is a battle, I think, where I've gotten more out of this tank than I did in any other. But I still use quite a lot of ammunition doing it, so my sort of hit rate isn't that great. But we do have 10 damaging ribbons, and we have quite a few spotted damage ribbons as well. We've managed to rack up a couple of kills. But we're now fairly low on ammunition, although I probably could change the ammunition mix. I just look at it there. I have 8 rounds of high explosives, which I don't really need. 1 clip of high explosives I think is more than enough, especially when you have limited loadouts. But experimenting with the loadout and stuff like that is something that I probably will look into in the future. I will definitely come back to this tank at some point, but I don't see myself playing much more tier 10 at the moment. First of all, I just don't have the silver to play more tier 10, so I need to earn up some more silver. And I then could see myself just going back and resuming the US grind, because I have 3 tanks at tier 8. The M40-43 artillery, the Bulldog, the M41 Walker Bulldog, and the Pershing, the M26 Pershing, which is most of the way actually towards unlocking the pattern at tier 9. So I could see myself going back to that grind as soon as I have a bulk of silver built up, so that I have silver available both to buy tanks and to pay for the grind. But at tier 8 I should be okay. I don't really lose money at tier 8 at the moment, not with premium time. But once I get off the tier 9 tanks, I would start to slowly lose money, so that I would need a backup, a cushion of money, silver built up, and I would need to have the funds available then to buy the next tanks on the line. So that's it. Thank you very much for watching, and a welcome to my new subscribers that have joined me in the new year. I hope you find my channel entertaining. If people are watching this that haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing, giving the video a like, and once again, I thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you again soon.